So it's the 19th of July, and I haven't actually videoed into the polytunnel this year yet, and this is the first time, so I thought I ought to do that. It's tremendous crops. We had it really warm in here from the middle of May to the middle of June, and then it has cooled off. Obviously when the sun shines it gets really hot in here, about 10 degrees warmer than outside, so we had quite a lot of days 23, 25 centigrade through middle of May, middle of June. And then since then, for the last month, we haven't had many days over 20. We've had a couple, but not many. And it's been wet and cloudy, so it's been cooler in here. But obviously everything got off to a really good start. So this is the Cornishons. You can see there's a few hanging off there. I need to harvest. I mean, the highest one's right up there, which is further than I can even reach. Must be 8 foot already. And they're running off along the ground as well. It's just well, I've put in too many as usual, but any that I miss and get too big are going for the ducks, and they're loving them. But I picked a few days ago, but there's loads coming in here everywhere, so picking them at various sizes. That sort of size is ideal really. Once they get a bit bigger you can still eat them, but I've been picking most of them about that size, and then putting them in vinegar. But I haven't picked for 4 days, and some getting a bit bigger than that now. I probably need to pick. I've been a bit busy. It's about 6:30 in the evening. I might get to picking some in a minute. And then in behind that I've got a row of peppers. This is from Save Seed, and they're long pointy ones. Got the first one there ready, and that's just what comes in off the roof, and shutters there. So we've got courgettes. I've got 4 courgette plants in here. There's 2 more down there. Got tomatoes here. We've been picking tomatoes for about a week, and they're starting to come. These are the earliest ones, and we've got several different varieties of those as well, all from Save Seed. Yeah, in fact all the tomatoes are from Save Seed. Those ones actually saved from seed from tomatoes we bought. That variety there, they've got a funny shape to them. And these are from seed that someone else let me have, said they were early, and they are the earliest ones. And then we've got some here that I saved from seed from tomatoes that we bought as well, and these were that shape, so obviously they have bred true. So I've got 3 plants of those, and 2 of them look like this with great big long trusses, and the other one, well, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen them with a lot of flowers before, but look, this is one truss. This is another truss, and that's on the same plant. This is the 4th truss. There's a 3rd one. That's probably I don't know, I think this is the 1st truss. That's the 2nd truss down there. This is the 3rd. That's the 4th. That's the 5th, and here's the 6th truss coming already, and I've stopped it now. But we have got tomato almost ready on that truss, and there's loads coming. But I just hate to guess how many flowers there are on that. There's a lot. And then I've got my brandywines, which are the big ones, and then I've got the irrigation system running. I've got 3 hoses. I have it running 5 days a week. Just fills up the tank up in the field, and then gravity feeds it back down again from the borehole. So the borehole fills the tank, and then it runs down underground. I got all that running, so it's all automatic. It's on a timer. I don't have to touch it other than to change the pipe over, so I do that pretty much every day. I've got some chilies here as well. Loads of chilies coming, different varieties. These are bought seed, these ones in particular here. And there's a mixture of varieties in one packet. So the first time I've grown them. This is my sort of wild corner here, where I've got some phacelia growing to attract the bumblebees, and there's some wild tomatoes. And then here, that is butternut squash, and they're only now starting to flower. And I mean, you can't see into them. They've just gone crazy. I think there's only 5 plants there. Then we've got some sweet corn here, which is right up into the top. I haven't got so much sweet corn in here as I did last year. And then the watermelons, well, they all fruited and set fruit in that hot weather which finished a month ago, so we haven't had any new watermelons set in the last month since it went cooler. So good job we had those. I think there's at least 10 in there, and some of them are pretty big. The plants are still growing, and I did see there was one just flowering this morning. I had a nice couple of days last week, and nice today actually. Not hot, but it's only just, I think it's probably been 25 in here. I've just seen that we've got one forming here, and this one's coming out over the top of the buckets that the sweet potatoes are in. So there's 5 buckets of sweet potatoes here. That's one bucket, and then with the big pipe in the other pipe, we're going to put some water in them later. I've got a video about how I planted those, and I'll do one when we dig them as well. And then got some more butternut squash, and then sticking up out the top we got these physalis. They're self-sown as well. I never need to put any of those in. And the butternut squash, we've got some massive great leaves on these butternut squash. They're growing fantastic, and they are just starting to flower. There's one here that the flower dropped off like yesterday or the day before, and I can't see too many. These are from Save Seed, and those over there are from seed that I bought this year, new seed. And I haven't seen any flowers open on these yet. I've seen a couple male ones, but no female ones, but there are definitely little fellas coming. There's one. Not the most exciting one, but there she is. So yeah, I'm going to water these buckets now. I do that once a week. Put a gallon in them once a week, and that seems to be keeping them moist. So just for comparison, these are my outside sweet corn, still growing in the same compost. In fact, actually this is new compost. This is only 12-month last year's compost. So it's very similar though. They are further behind, not so tall. They're now starting to silk, just starting. That's probably the first one now. And the tassels are coming out, and they're starting to drop pollen. So these are the ones the rams didn't get at. Got some pumpkins here growing below as well, and some sweet potatoes which are outside, which they're the ones that I put in late actually. That's the beginning of this year's compost pile, and some more pumpkins over here. This is last year's compost as well, and that's the sweet corn that the rams ate most of. So a few of them survived. They're not going to be very tall, but the rams did take the tops out of, well, all of them. There should have been, that should be, they were further on than the ones we just looked at. Some more sweet potatoes. I did plant a few sunflowers there. The ones outside have done, someone's eaten the ones outside. I planted over about over an acre, and I've got no sunflowers. They all germinated, same seed as what I've got here. So something has eaten it. And then I've still got some potatoes left, which I haven't harvested yet. I've been harvesting potatoes though. I had a pretty good crop out of there. This is the old compost. And then here's the sweet potatoes that I put under the plastic, and the plastic has been served a bit rough, and potatoes are actually pushing them out of the ground, and there's a bit ripped. But it's done its job, and this is old plastic, so I don't think it's going to do another season. But still, they're not looking bad. They did have really fantastic weather for the first month though. More potatoes over there, more pumpkins, and then got a little experiment with some carrots growing in the barrel. So I haven't pulled any of those out yet, but that's a 45-gallon drum, and I made up this sieve the compost. So I've only put sieve compost in there. I did fill it up to about here, but it's dropped down to about there. So obviously I didn't compact it. I just put it in, and the rain's compacted it, and it's sunk by itself. I just make sure the carrots stay covered, and be interested to see what happens when I pull them out. Anyway, that's it for this update. So I shall see you directly.